Hello there and welcome to the Watchful Citizen. I'm your host for today's show. My name is Josh Cramer. This show is brought to you by the Lancaster County Democratic Party, www.lancastercountydemocrats.org. Today we have with us a number of guests, all who have given their time to us on a Sunday afternoon to record this show. We have Amy Boren, who's the Executive Director of El Centro de las Americas, TJ McDowell, who is the Executive Director of the Malone Center. We have Thomas Christie on my left side over here, who is the board president of the Malone Center, and Oscar Rios, previous board president of El Centro and current board member. Today we're really started out this conversation to discuss El Centro de las Americas and their new location, and Oscar's desire was to go ahead and bring the folks from the Malone Center on as well. So we have a lively discussion in store, and if you just bear with me, we'll make sure that all four people get a chance to say one or two things. Amy, why don't we start with you? Tell us a little bit about El Centro's new location, maybe what you're intending to do, and what that means to the community you serve.
Okay, great, thanks, and I like your ladies first policy, by the way. Well, we currently are co-locating with the Malone Center at 2032 U Street, and it's been a really great collaboration. Primarily, we wanted to see, we think that there are ways that we can be stronger together. Our communities, we do a lot of things that complement one another. That would be, for example, the Malone Center has a wonderful after-school program. They have a lot of youth programming that they do. We were a little weaker in that area, and so we've been seeing ways that we can collaborate in that respect. We also offer computer literacy classes, English classes, GED classes, and GED and computer, those were areas that, you know, some of the Malone clientele could come in and join with us in that. So plus I just think that a collective voice is a stronger and better voice in the community.
Amy, what is the mission statement of El Centro de las Americas?
We empower Latino families to achieve their goals through education, advocacy, and supportive services.
Well, TJ, I'm going to have to pass the microphone to you. With four people on the show, we actually have one microphone that needs to be passed back and forth. But could you just speak a little bit to what the Malone Center does, its role in the community, and how that's been impacted by having El Centro co-locate with you?
Sure. Thanks, Josh, and thanks, Oscar, for inviting us. Note I said thanks, Oscar, for inviting us. The Malone Center mission, our mission is to strengthen the community by serving as a cornerstone for educational, cultural, and advocacy programs. As Amy referenced, our programs are really focused on youth. That's our core. We have an after-school program that works with elementary and middle school kids, provide academic support and enrichment opportunities. We also supervise a community learning center at Color Middle School, where we have a staff member who's housed there who provides before and after school programs. And then we have a Talented 10th program which works with African American males who are on the juvenile justice system. So those are kind of our core programs. Then we have the center is used by a number of community groups. We have a church that meets there every Sunday. We have a number of community organizations that meet on a regular basis at the center, including the local chapter of the NAACP and the local chapters of the Council of Negro Women. And then we have a number of kind of more isolated one-time events that happen at the center. But we like to believe that we strengthen the community by providing educational opportunities for young people. Another one of those kind of community programs we do is every Thursday from 1 to 2, the food bank distributes food to low-income and homeless people at the center.
Okay.
And
how have things gone since Amy has joined, since El Centro has joined the Malone Center in the same space?
It's actually gone very well. It's gone very well, actually, better than we have anticipated. It's worked out very smoothly. There's very few times when we're actually in conflict in terms of using the building, because of when their programs are evenings and mornings, and most of our programs happen in after school hours, so that hasn't been a conflict. One great thing is our computer lab took a nice upgrade. They brought over 10 nice new Dell computers that replaced some older ones we had in our computer lab, and so it's gone really well. We really do think that if in collaboration we can be stronger.
Well, thanks, TJ. Now over here on my left side, I have two community volunteers in this case for these centers. They spend their time and resources to enhance the development of Malone Center and El Centro in different capacities. And Thomas, you're sitting here directly to my left, and you're the board chair of the Clyde Malone Community Center. Can you tell us a little bit about how the board arrived at the decision because the board had to make that decision on whether or not El Centro would share the same space as the Malone Center. You actually have your
Well,
own.
we had space. We had a early childhood program, and we had space there. And because of the cost of running a early childhood program, we were not able to sustain that. It just doesn't match up. And so we had to close that program. It was a fiscal decision. And we had that space. We were going to expand it for some other things, but El Centro were needing to move from where they were at. And our director, Mr. McDowell, had been in discussion with the, because the 4 center directors meet often. And there had been discussion already about how the different ethnic centers could collaborate. And they were looking for a place, and we had a place. And to us, it was somewhat of a no-brainer. Lots of people talk about collaboration, and lots of people talk about are we our brother and sister's keeper and so forth, and they talk about diversity and supporting it and so forth. And so it was time for us to step up to the plate. And so it really wasn't, it was unanimous decision by the board that, you know, we would offer this to El Centro, and we thought it was a good thing because it was a chance, especially to show young people that 2 cultural ethnic groups could collaborate, but also had a lot in common because if anyone knows culture and ethnic history, there are lots of African trends that go through the Latino ethnic groups across Central America. And so, in a way, we're brothers and sisters.